All right, I'm at home here, and I'm going to walk out into my hobby shop behind the house here and try a little product I bought. And boy, this place is dirty. So let's take a look. I hope I brought the key with me. Show you a little something I found we're going to try. All right, I guess I'm always a sucker for a new gadget or a new tool. So I saw these. And I ordered a couple of little trays of them, different sizes. Now the overall clear is supposed to just be regular heat shrink. The little blue rings are supposed to be a high strength heat shrink of some type. And the little center silver looking ring there, looks like lead, is supposed to be a low temp solder. So what you're supposed to be able to do is take a piece of wire and kind of blend it together. A little better than that, maybe. Kind of weave it together. Then mash it down. You're supposed to be able to take this, slip it over it. Looks like we got a little straggler there. Good enough. And put the low temp solder in the center of it. And what we're supposed to do is be able to melt this whole thing and make a strong waterproof wire connection. So first I have to find a lighter. I'm going to use this little micro torch I use out here for certain other things. Let's see what we can do. All right. Okay. Try to do this like I saw it done. Thought I saw the guy melting the low temp solder first. Oh, that burned right through. So obviously I'm going to have to try this again. It'll take a little getting used to. So I think I first saw it. I mean, I wanted to say YouTube, but honestly, I think I first saw this, if I'm not mistaken, on Facebook. So it looks like melted the solder so bad on one side, I just cut it open and it ran away. So it also is starting to look to me like you need to possibly put a little flux on that wire part first, because even the melted solder did not stick to it. So let's try it again. One little bitty piece of solder that stuck. Let's try it again. And let's put a little bit of flux on that wire before we push it together. That would require me to actually find some first. Alright, I certainly cannot find any flux out here. I thought I had some, but the soldering I do out here with electronics is usually, rosin core solder, and it's normally to copper, so it's not a lot of use for flux in that. So let's fire up the little micro torch. See if we can try this again a little more carefully. Now, I saw the guy on the video. He was doing this with a heat gun. I gotta tell you, I got a hard time believing a heat gun is gonna melt this. Appear to be doing a little better this time by not blowing a hole in the middle of it too fast. I just can't tell that that low temp solder is actually melting. Doesn't look like it. I might be wrong. Tell you, this is tedious. And if you did perfect this, I think it would be tough to do on a consistent basis. Get the light off. So I'm going to let this cool off completely, even though it doesn't look to me like that solder really melted. I'm just scared if we tried to go any further, we just blow a hole in it like we did before. So in the meantime, let's try the heat gun. All right, I'm going to use this Milwaukee cordless heat gun. And definitely hotter than a hairdryer. Give you that. Let's try another one out. All right, so we're going to try one more of these. And my opinion is starting to get formed pretty quickly already, which is I could just take that little micro torch and some solder and solder that quickly and easily, and then turn around and put some heat shrink over it, and quicker and easier and better or just as good as this. But so let's take this one and the little Milwaukee heat gun. I'm not so sure a battery-powered heat gun is really going to do a lot. I'm going to seal up the ends here first. Something tells me that might help stop letting heat escape. And I'm going to bake down on this pretty hard in the middle. See if it actually will melt. And I thought I saw it moving a bit. That low temp solder. Like I'll let this one slide a little bit away from the middle, but it should still work if it melts the solder. I'll tell you what, this heat gun really draws down the battery quick. This was a full 18-volt battery, fully charged with all 4 indicator bars. And I've already heard the gun start slowing down. Now I'm starting to see that solder crawling up and down the wires a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not when I'm turning it, but it's actually melted and moved some of it. So I'm going to let that one cool off while we examine this one. It's completely cooled off, although I don't think we melted any of that solder really. It's pretty strong. It's actually real strong. So I don't know if that's the heat shrink. These 2 little bands holding it here, or what that is, but it's pretty strong. So let's take the heat gun and just see just that solder in the middle there. We can actually melt it any further. I don't think a flame heat is the way to do this. I'm not seeing it crawl up and down the wire like I did the other one. Not seeing that solder moving at all. I will say one thing for it, that clear jacketed outer heat shrink tubing is tolerating a lot more heat than I would have really thought it would. There goes the solder moving a bit. Right there at the top, you can see it. Silver crawling up the wire a little bit. Definitely melted some of the solder that time. Doesn't appear to have melted the outer jacket, so let's let it cool off. Let's look at the other one. Yeah, it's actually got some melted solder in there. You can see that kind of crawled up and down the wire, and it's pretty strong. Actually, it's really strong. I cannot pull it apart. So, before I say I cannot pull it apart, let's actually grab a hold of this. Some pliers. And, okay. All right. That is strong. Yes. I give. So, as much of a joke as I thought that was, that is strong. Now, kind of on the fence as to whether or not I think it's faster and easier. Of course, it is a lot better than carrying, you know, it's kind of all in one. So it is a little better situation. Than having to solder separately and then slide heat shrink up. So I don't know if you can see that as well as I can, but it's tough. I couldn't pull it apart. Now I probably could get 2 pair of channel locks and really pull and see what happened. But as much as I thought this stuff was going to be a silly little toy, see, it even looks like a silly little toy. Let's open this up. There's what it comes with. The red ones are a little bigger than those blue ones we used, and those yellow ones are pretty big. Those little white ones there are kind of small. I thought the white ones we may be able to patch outdoor thermostat wires with and actually have them sealed up well. Those yellow ones, you get a pretty decent size wire in it. But every shop needs a big block Mopar getting put together. 440. Pretty cool little stretched bike we're doing over there. Little hot rod illusion bike over there. It's really fast. This one, with all the oil pouring out of it, This is the one I really like, that old shovel head there. I would not sell that bike for anything. So anyway, let's go back over here where we belong. Get back to the electronics desk here. So, as much as I thought I was going to debunk that stuff and tell you it was a stupid little toy, it's actually pretty strong. I may order a couple of more of these and carry them around in the van. I may end up with those little ones. Let's pull them out and look at them. I may end up using some of these little ones to piece together a broken piece of thermostat wire outside. You know, if there's just no way to add to it and tuck the joint up. Now this one's pretty big. So that one would, and here's the one we were using. Blue one right there. So, it's all my ham radio stuff. That's the prized possession right there. New old stock 1974 Yaesu FT101F. That is actually a rare radio right there. All bands. So, I thought I was going to debunk this stuff and make it into the joke I thought it was, but it is strong. I'll give it that. It's really good and strong. And try one more time. Just by hand here. I got a piece of it coiled up there and I'm grabbing it. These needle nose. And I am pulling really hard. Really hard. So, not the joke I thought it was. And the little Milwaukee heat gun, I may think a little more of it than I thought I was going to as well. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm going to add one more little piece to the puzzle there. There's some assorted heat shrinks tubing pieces that I've got. I've got longer pieces, but those are the ones I use for radio stuff, electronic stuff. I'm going to take this piece of black heat shrink tubing that I slid over the whole thing and just make it look better. So it doesn't look so, you know, so much like a little toy somebody put together. I just didn't really like the look of it. Plus, I admit, I just wanted to play with my little Milwaukee heat gun here a little bit more. And it is slowing down in the fresh battery. So obviously, one battery is not going to melt, but maybe two of those little things, connectors, whatever we want to call them. And that end isn't quite tight. Sometimes this heat shrink doesn't have like the unlimited shrinking size ability that you might think it has. It only goes so far, and then it'll almost just start dripping. I have tried that before too, and just to see how far you could take it. It will burn and go away. All right, so, ow. So that is a better looking joint there. And you can see where my little piece of heat shrink tube was not quite long enough to do the same on this end as it did on this end. It actually came over it and went all the way down. But that was a pretty good little wire connection. So I don't know. I may try some more of it in the real world before I say for sure what I think of it. But let's get back in the house, see what the family's up to. Thanks for watching.